appropriation with it.
There wasn't one, but there was supposed to be one
When? How do you,
in the
where
last
did you
6
get that
years.
from? Huh?
And from the, well, you can discuss it when you discuss it. It was on the
Well, I
last-
can't discuss it, I don't know what you're talking about.
I'll explain it to all of you.
Are you, you're gonna explain it? I bet you can't.
I will try my hardest.
You weren't even here when it was done.
From all the research and reading I've done.
Oh, was it an actual article?
I think we have the camera on, George.
I know, that's okay. I'm not saying anything I don't wanna say.
That's not what I was saying.
Okay. We ready, Ron? The
Yes.
meeting will now come to order. We'll all stand and say the pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Thank you all for coming. Oh. Thank you, Senator Gilmore. Senator Gilmore is with us tonight, and she'll be discussing some things in a few minutes. In the first place, I'll make a motion to accept these. Have you read these minutes?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to accept these minutes as written.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carried, 2-0. Minutes from last week, no change, errors or omissions, right?
Yep.
All right, other than that, we have a non-public, what, did she say what time?
I thought she wanted to come in, but she may not be ready.
Well, no, she'll probably be in after 7, right?
Well, no, she wanted to leave, so
Well, she can't have it both ways.
I'll go see if she's coming in now, or if you want to do business first.
I don't know what I wanna do. Go home, watch the Red Sox, probably.
Sounds good.
Okay.
You're on a winning
You know,
streak.
all right, this is all non-public, so we gotta do that later on down the road. You knew that, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay, did you go through that at all?
Nope, I got these done, certificates of appreciation.
Hmm?
I finished
All of them?
Yep.
Are there any other names that you can come up with? Because those were just ones that came from another source, they didn't come from me. That was for the last couple of weeks.
She's coming.
Huh?
She's coming.
Is she? Right now?
I is here.
All right, wow, you want a non-public, Karen? Can I take about 5 to 10 minutes, maybe with Senator Gilmore, so she doesn't have to sit here while you're
Sorry, I
in
didn't realize that.
non-public?
Sure.
Do you have
Tell me when you're ready.
What are you looking for?
non-public forms?
Right here. Oh, it's in there? You got one in there, okay. Okay. Senator Gilmore, is there anything that you'd like to report or say or discuss, as long as you did take the time to come and visit us?
Well, just to give you an update, in Concord, we are winding down our session. Budget will be presented, the Senate budget will be presented a week from Thursday. Things are a little bit, there's a little bit of conflict going on between the Senate and the House in terms of how the revenues are going to play out and how the spending is going to be allocated. So stay tuned, it's never over till it's over. As you know, last week the House rejected the gambling, the casino, which some are happy and some are not so happy. One of the concerns is that the revenues in that licensing fee much was slated for the roads.
That was the 80 million?
That 80 million out of a single licensing fee. At the same time, there was a proposed gas tax proposed by the House. That money was all slated for highway fund, with a fair amount slated to go to the municipalities for their roads and bridges. But that was defeated, and again, it's not clear how that will shake out in the next session.
Okay.
So
You're
I
pretty
think
close to the end, you said?
we're pretty close to the end. The Senate will vote on the budget on June 6th. The Senate and the House are supposed to finish their committee of conference because the new fiscal year starts July 1, so we're meant to be finished by June 30. As I say, that if you're a gambling man, you might think it might go right down to the wire or even over.
Now, you said the bill is for all practical purposes, and as far as the casino is pretty much done for this legislative
Pretty much
session,
done for
right?
this legislative
Do you
session.
expect that there'll be another one introduced next year, or no?
Not clear that it would be next year. You know, it's come up every year. I think, one of the things that people thought gave it a little more momentum this year was the race to beat Massachusetts.
Yes.
But there has historically been resistance in the House, and that carried through again this year.
Okay.
And I
so
would take any suggestions or
Have you
ideas.
had many calls or anything from the constituents in New Ipswich, or do you ever get much interest?
I've had some emails from people in New
Yeah.
Ipswich. We had a bill, House Bill 135, which was a repeal of the Stand Your Ground law that was enacted. That's a law that was enacted that said, we've always had the castle doctrine, which means you can defend yourself in your home and in your property. The Stand Your Ground said that you had the right to use force, regardless of where you were. I did have people from New Ipswich who were eager that I not vote to repeal that. And the Senate did defeat that repeal again on Thursday, so that's off the table. But that was really, on other issues, I don't hear that much.
No?
I would be eager to.
Okay.
Eager
Well,
to.
we encourage people to do that generally,
Definitely.
as far as the state reps and you being a senator, so. If anybody out there, what is your phone, you wanna give your phone number?
Yes,
Of course
my
you do.
phone number at the State House is 271-2104. My home phone is 465-2336. If you go to the general court website, I just Googled general court.
Yeah.
My home address and my phone are listed, so, and my email, so I'm eager
Do you
to
have any questions?
hear from people.
No?
And if there's a way that I could get input from people, I would ask you to give me that suggestion.
Do you plan on, when do you plan on coming to New Ipswich again? Or do you? Maybe you don't want to now, I don't know.
I would love to
I would
come.
hope you would.
Yes, of course I would. I feel that a strong responsibility that I represent the town. And I will come anytime I'm invited, and, you know, I can.
I have to admit that, the senator, prior to you anyway, in our district, I don't think he might have come here once maybe, when he was running for office, but other than that, if you don't call him, that's one of the problems with, I
What-
found over the years with.
What area do you cover?
I have District 12, so that's 3 wards in Nashua, the west part of Nashua. The towns of Hollis, Brookline, Mason, Greenville, New Ipswich, and Ringe.
She's your state senator.
I'm your state
So,
senator.
She's here, she's here for you. You never met David? He was a
I was a
selectman.
selectman at one time.
I don't think so, because
Few years
this is
ago.
a new district for me.
Huh? Yeah, I know her, because of the fact that it was changed
Yep.
before. So, you know Selectman Cargill?
I do know Selectman Cargill because he used to live in Brookline,
Yeah,
Yes.
okay,
and I represented Brookline in the.
right, all right. You got questions for Senator Gilmore?
Not at this point.
Okay. You have anything, David? The man
No.
on the street?
Nothing.
Nothing?
We've
Nothing?
met. I
Probably.
believe, yeah.
Nothing's hot that you wanna discuss, or that you'd like to see her tackle in Concord?
Well, one complaint I hear all the time, and maybe, I don't know if you're the one to tell it, but you know on these emissions, for your inspection on your automobile, that, idiot light that comes on, check engine light?
Yeah?
Well, people have to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars to get that light out, and it
About
really
thousands.
doesn't mean anything.
I think
I know
that's,
some states have reversed that, or made it more lenient, but I know people that can't afford the money, they have to spend $300, $400, $500 to get that light to go out, and it's
It's
some
killing.
silly thing that doesn't affect the safety of the car at all.
Well, I can,
I don't know if you've ever heard that
admit-
comment
no, I've
before,
never
but,
heard that, and it's not my area of expertise,
$1,000
but I
to get
will
my
find
light.
out about it.
yeah, David said he had to spend $1,000, almost $1,000 to get his light out, and what was the, it was just, it was nothing to do with the safety of the car, right?
No, it just, emissions, I had to put all the catalytic converter and
Yeah,
Some come-
oxygen sensors.
Don't some come on after so many miles anyway?
Yeah, some of them do.
And then you have to go and somehow or another, they
Shut it
can
off.
shut them off sometimes, and sometimes they don't, sometimes they shut themselves off.
yeah, it's,
So-
I usually take the battery cable
You know,
off.
I'll find out, it may be a federal standard, but I will find out.
yeah, I think it's state by state.
Give her your phone number, David.
Huh?
Give her your phone number so she can send you back. You got email at home?
No,
You don't have it?
phone number 878,
Wait. Glasses for this one.
Glasses, David.
That was early.
oh, yeah,
878.
I left mine in the truck.
You can borrow mine.
2844,
2844.
yeah. My name is David. Yeah, I kinda hang around these garages all the time, I hear that complaint all the time.
Spell your last name for me, David.
COTZIN.
Okay, I will find out what where the regulation stems,
Yeah,
and,
Anything else? David, you're here for a reason. What is it?
I want to get my road graded.
All right, hang on. Your road, when was it graded
Last year,
last year? Hasn't been done this year?
no, and every time it rains, the water runs down the
Did you
middle of
call
the
the road
road.
agent and ask him, or the public works director?
I figured I'd go to the top.
Okay. You got a note of that, please?
That's all I
I'm
want to
sure
bother
the
you
top.
for.
She's the top.
Wrong top.
Anyway.
Either that or
I don't
I'll
know.
grade it for you guys.
What?
I'll grade it for you guys.
What do you mean you grade it with what?
Well, I got a nice new mini excavator with a ditching bucket and,
You don't have a grader, your brother
Yeah,
got that.
yeah, I got a grader too.
You got one?
Yeah.
Where,
That's up in Walpole.
Walpole?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. All right, we'll see if we can, I don't know what his plans are, or what his
Well,
schedule is.
what he should do, the last time it rained, I went and watched, and the water coming down from the Leo Farm stays in the ditches just before it gets to the culvert, and then when it gets almost to the culvert, it goes right to the middle of the road, all the way down to the tar road.
Okay. His liaison, we'll call him tomorrow
Yep,
too,
first,
also.
call him at 6 in the
Between
morning.
Roberta and Mike, you know.
No, I'll talk to him at 6 in the morning.
He'll get, well, you can call him at 6.
We'll be in.
You can call me at 4, but I'm not home.
Huh?
I'm not home at 4 o'clock.
In the morning?
No, I'm
You
at
gone already by then?
I'm over at the New West Mall running on a treadmill.
You go over there at that time?
Yeah.
How's your health? Improved?
No,
No, that's not good.
I won't know till July, but
Okay.
my ankles haven't improved
Is
any.
there anything else for Senator Gilmore, or is there anything else you'd like to say, Senator Gilmore?
no, but, if there is, an event or a meeting that it would be good for me to come to, I'm gonna, Roberta has my contact information,
I hope so.
and, I would, be pleased to know. Sometimes I miss what's going on in the towns, you know?
All right, beginning, no, it's in 2 weeks. This is the last time we're gonna be meeting weekly anyway, so the next meeting is 2 weeks away, so we're gonna be meeting every couple of weeks, but if you wanna stop by, sometime in, maybe in June or July, somewhere in that area before, and then before you go back to Congress, no, not Congress, I was gonna say Congress, but to the State House way.
I will plan to come after the session finishes, so.
Okay. That's fine,
And then you
good.
give you a final, or if things are really, touchy during the final, the committee conference, then I will come during that time and take your advice back.
You don't have any questions for us, you said?
No.
As far as the casino and all that? Okay. Do you have any questions about the casino? You must have been interested in it, I'm sure. No? As far as that,
Now, I'm more interested in wanting to build on a Class 6 road.
who wants to go on a Class 6 road? You?
Yeah, but it ain't in her district.
Oh, it's in Walpole. No,
Oh, sorry.
it's up in, whatever the guy's name is up there, probably a Sawyer or somebody like that, I don't know who it is, in Walpole. State Senator up there, Keene, that's not good, Sanborn's, is it?
Walpole is.
Walpole and Surrey. It's Surrey I'm having a problem with.
Doesn't he represent Keene or not?
No.
No?
Molly Kelly represents Keene.
Who? Kelly?
Molly
Oh.
Kelly. You want me to find out
Yeah,
who represents Walpole?
sure.
There you go, David, see? Asking you shall receive.
See, go right to the top,
Well,
Dave.
The
Right.
Constitution says you should be able to do anything you build on your land. I got a nice piece of land, I can't even build on it.
Oh, there we go.
Spend thousands and
We're not gonna
thousands
get
of
into
dollars.
that discussion tonight, okay?
It's not in New Ipswich, right?
No, it's not.
Alright, well then.
But
You can build in
I guess it's not
Ipswich.
for this board or the planning board of
I-
New Ipswich.
it concerns Class 6
Well, how
roads
can-
and how you
What's
go
that?
about
How
doing
can
it.
the senator get in touch with you?
I know.
We're
Uh,
gonna
It's
discuss
not
cell
our
phone.
debate.
Huh?
It's not our debate tonight.
It's,
Yeah.
491.
When it happens, it happens. It's the future.
1561.
Stay in the present.
There, see, I knew that you came here for a reason.
Spell your last name.
First name's David, second name's Caroline, and Keuruline.
Okay. I wouldn't have gotten it. Okay. Somebody will give you a call, probably not.
Yeah,
this
that's
week.
all right.
Thank you.
So, you got what I want done.
All right, we're all
So
set then?
you guys can go back to sleep.
There's nothing else for Senator Gilmore, then we gotta bring the town clerk and tax collector in here. Actually, it's tax collector.
I gotta go put my back in gear.
Okay, Senator Gilmore, thank you so much for coming,
I appreciate you.
and we look forward to
Nice to see
seeing you
you again.
again.
Nice to see you.
Thank you.
Nice to see you. And nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
I'll see you again.
You'll see her again, she'll be
Yeah, I
here.
will. I will call you next time and pick the best day.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, Cindy. Probably doesn't know. Either that or she already went home.
I'm just gonna check. Yeah, that was this afternoon. I had so much going, I just finished sending out proof from this afternoon. Usually I do not, usually I haven't done it the day after. Like crazy. It wasn't, we discussed with you since you.
Okay,
She'll be in a second.
in the meantime, for your information, those impact fees are a problem, as you may or may not know. Read that?
Oh,
We're gonna have to discuss those after we get done with her, I think. To see where we can go or where we can't go. Hi. Sit right here in the front row. Don't you wanna be on the camera?
You need to go to non-public.
I'll be
That's
leaving to
right.
sit
I know
here.
that. I know.
Okay. I know you know.
we'll look that up. I'll make a motion, we enter non-public, RSA 91A, semicolon 3, Roman numeral 2C, matters which if discussed in public would likely affect adversely the reputation of any person other than a member of the board.
Okay. I'll second it. It's a roll call vote. Mr. Conlon?
Aye.
Mr. Cargill?
Aye.
Mr. Juan? Yes. Vote with 3-0 now to go into non-public.
You didn't let anyone know?
Well, no, because then we don't get
You're not it. That's right.
same thing if you were in Winchester, right?
We'll find out
Alright,
after.
Ronald, you on?
Yes.
Okay. Where's
Dang it, I did not
I'm
say
always
this.
saying, where's Ben, but it's not Ben, it's Mr.
Like,
Michael Conlon. Where is he?
Any big decisions in your private hearings?
Yeah, but I can't divulge him right now.
Oh, okay.
I
I
guess I
thought
could, but
you, state law you had
what?
to.
We sealed the minutes.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. Where was I? Let's discuss this. Did I sign my whole name
did
there?
you read
No,
that
no,
memo?
I
Somebody
didn't.
actually should read out loud, so,
What?
so everyone knows what you're discussing,
What's that?
the memo.
Which memo?
About impact fees.
Yep.
Oh, right here. This is a memo from the town administrator, Roberta Ann Frazier. Says this: I did research regarding impact fees and what the town can do with them.
Sorry, George.
That's fine. And whether the school should receive them or not. Please see attached paperwork. Now, the ones that are in question, you probably remember, Ron might remember, when we sat here a year and a half, 2 years ago, discussing impact fees, remember that, for the school? And Benty was on the board at the time, Benty Weiska, and as to how to go about and give them to the school, cause, the fees were collected for school, and that was when the school was in construction and so forth, so anyway. That's $58,000 that we were going to give to the school, and I don't know if you remember when we went down there and had meetings with the school administration, Gary Somro, Jennifer Crook, and Mike was a selectman by then, yeah,
Yeah.
and Betty and I.
I was the one that brought it.
You brought what?
I just remembered something about that.
I know, we were all there, and last week, 2 weeks ago, you told me you thought that we had offset taxes with them.
Right.
Well, it didn't offset taxes.
Okay.
Roberta said she spoke to Christine Fillmore, who works for LGC and is a lawyer and goes around and does seminars. I've been in a number of seminars that she's done, you've been at some before. I don't think you ever were, but anyway, she's very good. And, regarding the $58,582 that was withdrawn from impact fees 2011. It was December 13th of 2011 that Beverly wrote took it from TD Bank North, and there was a check made out to the town of New Ipswich. But they were never paid to the school, okay?
But,
That payment is owed to the school, is what she's saying now. It may be raised and appropriated next year. Also, any monies expended from the public safety impact fees need to be discussed, since an appropriation for new space for the fire department is not in space. You said that was an article?
That was, the planning board accepted the impact fee regulation that you hired the planner from. There was a planner, there's actually a regulation that, when you start collecting impact fees, that you had to have somebody come up with it.
yeah,
And so,
That was-
I've highlighted everything out of that.
It was 2008,
yeah,
right?
that was May, wasn't that
second-
Mr.
yes.
Mayberry?
No,
Yes,
no,
yeah,
yeah, it was
Mr.
Mr.
Mayberry.
Mayberry.
The second page in there, George,
did
that's the
bring-
public safety one.
Did bring it.
Okay, look, can we get back to the school for a second?
Okay, you can do the school, I've highlighted that info also.
All right, go ahead, done.
Basically, can I,
Say what you want to say.
when we did the school, we had taken the money to put in place of our share towards the school.
You cannot do that.
No,
Why
that
can't-
isn't the way, no, it
And it
ended
didn't
up not
happen.
that way, Mike.
No, that's not how it happened, but that was under, it was, cause we're gonna use the money towards the debt servicing.
Yes, but you can't keep the money, you have to make the payment to receive it from
It
the
wasn't,
school,
yeah, but,
and it wasn't
no,
done.
what he's
Yeah.
saying is.
So
I
basically,
understand what you're saying.
so basically, what we had to do at the time was cut them two different checks. Give them a check for $55,000 and then subtract that $55,000 from our original amount and give them another check.
No.
Why
What
not?
original amount? The payment?
Yeah,
No,
why can't you?
no.
You're paying the school?
You can't
because-
do that, it can go, as I've highlighted there, to the debt for the school, but it's their bond that they,
It just
the
go
debt
for,
that they took out for
well,
the school.
wait a minute.
It has to be
It has to
earmarked
be-
for something, it
that's
can't
right.
be a blank.
And they have to
Yeah.
give a report on it,
It's-
per the
wait a
RSA.
minute,
Alright.
She's got the one for the school there somewhere.
Alright,
It's right there, it's that one.
so next year, because I noticed in here that you're saying that we have to appropriate that money,
You have to appropriate, and I really think you're gonna have to appropriate the public safety and just spend it there too. Because the propane tanks were purchased.
I know.
That was for the
Doesn't-
improvements on that building because.
But you cannot
impact.
use those fees for improvements on the building, you can't use them for road
That's-
upgrades, you can't use them for improvements. There's actually specific RSAs
Uh,
that go towards that.
Now, next year, we send them this money towards the debt,
Their debt, the debt,
their bond debt,
right.
but that doesn't lower our taxes.
No, it's going to make payments, it's to help them make payments on the bond.
That's all.
That's what it was
So,
for.
if you have a town, let's say Greenville doesn't have impact fees,
I don't think they do they?
so now we're asking the town residents of New Ipswich to have an extra burden towards the school?
Well, it's not really a burden, it's fees that you collected from people who built.
But it's
We
more,
have paid an
but-
extra portion, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you have, because you have impact fees.
so,
But the only way you can collect impact fees is per an RSA.
so instead of raising and appropriating the money and giving it to school, we should probably just give it back to the taxpayers that paid impact fees.
You can't do that per the RSA, you can't.
Not if we don't spend it.
This is,
You're right, if you don't spend it, it's just, I don't,
Michael,
I mean,
this
we could
is,
just-
I mean, really, in the
No,
end, you're
this
going
is
to be
about the
lowering
school.
a payment
No,
for the
that's
citizens.
for the school, that's how it's
But we're going to, for two
It
towns.
can go
is what
to-
he's
You're
getting
right,
at.
you're right.
bonded
I know where
debt.
he's going.
Yep, I understand what he's saying.
What, if you don't do it in 6 years, you give it back anyway?
Yeah, so just give the residents back their money instead of,
So you're gonna give them back the $58,000 there, plus the $34,000 that we now have.
What can we say that the school can use that money for?
You cannot stipulate, they have to actually use it for the debt, they
It's
have to use it
Oh,
for
just
that bond.
purely for that
And they
bond?
have to give a report
Okay.
every year of what they've used it for and how they've
So
spent it.
they can't do an improvement or
That's
that
right,
kind
they
of stuff?
cannot do
either?
that, nope,
Okay.
they have to put it towards the bond payment.
When we were doing it before, they were in the construction stage, so that made it easier to allocate it to them for,
Yes,
what did it say, capital debt. So, there was 58,000, well, the figure, it's 532 is what you got written, but
yes,
I thought it was 58.8, but anyway, it doesn't matter. There's two different figures in the town report.
yeah, so the
In the
propane.
town report, it was listed on a sheet as a revenue, but it never got transferred
So what
back
can we use
to-
it on the town then?
You can't use the school thing on.
No.
No, the other portion, the portion that we use for propane tanks, now we have to find something to use it for.
you can't use those, you can't use them because you never appropriate any funds for new space for the fire department, and that's
Yeah.
what's supposed to happen.
And,
So all of those are going to have to be refunded.
Wait a minute, where'd you get the fire department, the only one that's
That's
supposed to have?
what's in there, that's what
Yeah.
the plan was, that's what's accepted, legally accepted by the planning board. It had to be, there has to be an appropriation for a new fire department, that was going to happen in the next, from 2008 on, and it didn't.
Police department.
How much
fire
was that as a
department.
total that we spent on those propane tanks?
I'm still waiting for, I don't know, I didn't know who we paid.
yeah, it was only,
This all came
I
in-
mean, it wasn't, it was like, I think half of it came from impact fees, half of it came from money we had, so it was only like $4,800.
I was gonna say, I
It
think
was-
it was around
No,
No,
five.
I'm just curious.
Okay,
How much do you think, George?
No, it's over 4,000.
no, it was 78 or something for
But
both tanks.
We didn't have enough impact fees, so I think we had to use some regular funds.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, we used 40, we used
I
Yeah,
think
well,
you
I
used,
was-
yeah, like 4,800,
Yeah.
4,900 is the figure that I had.
And the reason they let us, I think she contacted DRA about that too before, the reason they did it was because it was gonna be fire department and police department in that building, public safety.
At the time when we bought
And
it.
it was an improvement or, update in the building. And then we found out we couldn't update the building, everything dropped. But the money was used. Police cruisers.
So basically, we have to raise and appropriate, about 60,000.
Around 60,000 so far. I'm still doing research to make sure everything else is
Where'd
done
you
correctly.
get this from, Joanne?
She has the plan, I read the whole plan
This is
today.
in the plan, okay, if
And-
no
and
appropriation
picked it
made
out.
by the town develop new fire department space within 6 years of the collection, then that fee may need to be refunded with interest under the terms of the impact fee, okay, that's just fire department. Now, public safety is made up of the three, but
But that's the
Only us.
public safety part of impact fees,
Hmm?
stating for the fire department.
So in
Yeah,
the
it
public
should be.
safety part, there's nothing about the police?
Well, there is some references to the police, but
No,
what the bottom
only-
line is, there had to be an appropriation for a new fire department,
So use any public safety money?
using public safety money.
that's
Yep.
because of the way they wrote this.
That's
But
right.
again, public
And
safety
accepted it.
means police, fire, and, emergency
So
management.
I guess the thing to do is to find out how much we'll have to raise next year and appropriate.
Now, the other thing you can do, if there are any left over, if there is funds that end of this year, you can use them.
What about the money that we've already
We can do
used
that.
for? Well, the only one we ever used was public safety, though, wasn't it? The money from the school was supposed to have been, yeah, that 58, but
Huh?
she went through all that now.
Yeah, you're looking at 62.
That 58 was just put back into the general fund and
Alright, now the next
never
question.
listed as a, it wasn't an offset against taxes or anything. If you look at the town report, you only see where it was listed as a revenue
Yeah, that's what I said.
in that sheet, but in our estimated revenues for the tax rate, you'll never find that figure, because it wasn't done. This was all done after the tax rate was set.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
Oh, keys.
What you gonna do, go get your papers?
Yeah, if I can find them, I know exactly.
December 13th was after the tax rate was set, Michael.
Maybe that's when the transfer was done, though, if
That's
you had
when,
put it on
that's
the,
when Beverly did her,
yeah.
with Claudine Rivard wrote the check from the TD Bank.
So the money that you spent, you gotta get it back. Is that what you
Well,
think?
we gotta reappropriate from the town,
From the town has to come up with it somewhere.
Why?
So-
I don't
and then we
understand.
have to give it back. We spent it on inappropriate spots.
No, you didn't spend it at all.
They
We
didn't
wrote a
use-
check to the
town used
school
it
that's
as
not
revenue.
gonna be
You
okay.
never wrote a check to the
The
school.
town took the impact
I
fees out of the
understand.
It
account
never got wrote.
and used it as revenue, which basically lowered
I
the tax rate
understand
or
that
offsets
part,
the
but-
tax
Oh,
rate.
I
even though
see,
we-
I see.
What?
It's, they took the 58,000,
Put it in as revenue.
put it in revenue, that was wrong.
That was,
See,
should have been paid right to the school.
So why can't they take the 58,000 back out of revenue?
Because we're in now 2 years later.
This was done in 2011.
Yeah, but why can't you write to the state and tell there was a mistake
The
made?
state has nothing to do with it now, it's
No,
just a
state has
matter
nothing to do with it.
of here.
We have to correct it, but you still have to have something to charge against it. You know, it's not just sitting
See
there,
what,
because we never have we never have like revenue that just sits there but that isn't earmarked for something.
So the 58,000 should have never went back in revenue, it should have been spent for something else.
No, it should have gone to the school, payment,
Oh,
right to the school, yep.
it should've gone.
But not as part of their normal
Not
payment.
as far, that's what, that was where the rubber really met the road, was because one of the selectmen at that time, you know who it was, wanted, remember you sat right there on the camera, over and over, wanted it to go against the school payment each
Right.
month.
I'm gonna
And it
have to
didn't work.
come in on Saturday and go through all my, I
Right.
have a whole drop for
But
it.
it was December 13th, Michael.
When we sat here and did the tax rate with Benty, we had said that we wanted to keep the tax rate flat, and we had earmarked that money to be part of the tax
It
rate.
never got put there then,
I'm just saying, when,
because
It may have, you know, it may have been put on the form, but just never transferred to December, and that's okay, it can be
Right.
transferred.
but I don't
It was
think
transferred wrong anyways,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying, it may have been put on the
I
other.
don't remember ever entering into the tax rate for that year, for 2011.
yeah, we were gonna keep the tax rate flat, and that's why we're using that money to offset.
Wow.
You can't use it for offset, that's the whole thing. Benty always wanted to do that, there's no
But
doubt about it.
that's what we did.
No, not me, I never voted to do that.
Okay.
That's what happened though, right?
Yes.
No, what happened was it just got put into the general
Yeah,
cash
instead
flow.
as revenue.
Never affected your taxes in any way, shape, or form. All it did was increase the amount of, the balance on hand by $58,000.
But now we're gonna appropriate, raise that money, that will affect our taxes.
It needs it,
Well, yes, it will, there's
Yes.
no doubt about it, but
Plus the
If-
public safety
because
figure.
money got spent at a time.
the public safety thing is a smaller amount.
Crazy, crazy.
Well, here's the next question.
Well,
Last week, I think it was, we're talking about using impact fees for, and made motions for culverts and stuff like that.
We did, because we didn't know that.
Right.
You can't.
So it hasn't been spent yet.
It has not been spent yet.
Right.
And actually, really, we took it out of the leftover from his warrant article appropriation last year. There was like
That was
3,000
a
something.
non-lapsing article, we
That was
had too many
non-lapsing,
left over.
yeah.
Alright.
But you do need to revisit that motion because it cannot be spent for that. It can't be spent for regular road upgrades, road maintenance, anything. Actually, in the, impact fee guide, it states it has to be so many inches deep of exactly what you're doing on the roads in order to use the impact fee. And it has to be on the roads that they actually pay the impact fee for,
Well, yeah, that was always a question.
which, that's okay, the record on that is good, that's okay, you've done that, but it can't be for regular road maintenance or upgrade,
Which a culvert would be.
the culvert would be, yep.
So we, alright, so
You tell
basically,
Peter already?
No, this all came to like this afternoon
Well,
when,
see, they wrote this thing, but, I don't know, maybe we need to go back and look at 674-21-5 to see, impact fees may be assessed for public road systems and right
it's
of
in there.
way.
If you look at that town and city, there's actually an article this month on impact fees from Christine Fillmore, who wrote it.
There is?
Yep.
And it clarifies it more because it's always been a gray area for many towns and many people.
Well, she has the example, and she told me about the town of Hudson is being sued right now, a big case about impact
Okay,
fees,
here's the
what they
thing.
used them for.
Further, the statute requires that upgrades, the need for which is not created by new development, shall not be paid for with impact fees. So any upgrades on the roads have to have new development on them. It's basically, I guess that's what you were saying, but you can still, I think, if I remember correctly, you can still culvert work on those roads that are affected by the impact. Now, the problem, one of the problems that you have, or had, was that some impact fees were collected on, Route 124, for example, state road. What do you do in that case? And that's another,
There's a new RSA that was passed, and it is in that article regarding that, and I can't
In here?
remember. Yes.
What
Look at
did-
that town, I have it marked for you there with paperclip.
they changed it? Demystify it? Yeah, okay, here's our problem, we're demystifying it.
so those are the books that came out.
Yeah, it just came out, they're
Alright.
new, they're in,
You got some
yeah,
for us?
yeah.
Okay, 674-21B and then an A, okay, that's what they did. And I guess we'll have to read this, not gonna read it tonight.
Right,
But,
there's a lot of good, useful information in there
what-
also.
all right, so what you said, maybe the easiest way out of this thing is to just
Raising a pro, I mean,
give the
Well,
people
that's
the
a-
money back.
you know,
That's after we raise and appropriate
yeah,
next fall.
first you have to raise an
Right,
appropriate.
you don't have it to give back
Yeah.
right now.
But
You got, like the school is 34,000, what do you wanna do with that 34,000?
I would say give it back. I mean, these are individual people that pay
Then-
these impact
And then
fees.
you got what, 4,000 something in, police, is it? No,
No,
2,200 something in police and, 4,000 something in
I mean,
public
the
safety.
people voted to not have impact fees anyways. I mean,
Well,
I
that's why I'm
granted,
asking you now, rather than,
well, what are your guys' opinion?
no,
No,
I,
and
I
I'm
mean-
just trying to think of,
Why is it always
okay,
my
we still
opinion?
have 35,000 sitting there.
34 something, yeah.
Okay,
Without the 4 that refused
and we have to
pay.
bring back up 55,000 that we misappropriated at the
58
time,
something.
50.
Yeah.
If, once we appropriate that, I was asking, it gets combined with the 35, could we reappropriate it back for the debt?
Yes, to the school, you
To
can
the
give
school.
it to the school, yes. That's the only thing you can do.
The only thing we really can't do anything with is the town portion unless the
How-
voters decide to do something with the fire station.
How does appropriating that amount of money to the debt service
I don't think,
in the end help out the taxpayers in New Ipswich?
I don't think it does. I'm just trying to clarify some
Okay.
gray
No,
areas
I
before I
understand.
make, and I agree with you
Well,
on
read-
that, especially
read
with the
that.
type of loan we
Read that
got
right there. She-
on the school.
That talks about police and fire, but the problem is, we didn't do any improvements to the police.
No
Now,
appropriation made by the town.
The only thing it did was a generator.
that was over there, but that
No.
generator, oh, up here, that money up there, I suppose you could say that.
Expanding the fire department space for training.
That
Whoa.
That was
Would,
used
would, oh, we
Oh, could we go back? It says to provide expanding fire department space for training administration apparatus, and we spent over $10,000 last year on 2 new
Yeah.
units down there just for training and office space. Could we go back and earmark that afterwards?
But you have to have an article for that before you spent the impact fees.
What did you
What?
take it out of? Was it an actual appropriation for
Yeah,
the fire
yeah.
department?
No,
Oh,
no,
it's
we
general
came out
government
of general funds because it's last minute
Okay.
deal.
I can certainly get a legal opinion on that.
Yeah,
You're saying you
that's-
gotta have an article for what?
I thought that you said that
It
you
has
had
to be an
have
appropriation for the fire department.
But we appropriated out of
Yeah.
general funds, just we did not have a warrant article for it because it was a deal that we
Yeah,
were
but you
gonna
could have
do.
used that for police too, according to that. But there isn't any way you could use it.
But
for
that'd be
now,
police
it could have been if
department
there was-
space.
Huh?
Says police department space, we've never
That's
done
what-
anything.
No, we
for-
haven't, that's what I'm saying, but you could have if there had been something done with it.
That is correct.
Would
Would you look into that?
I will-
Because
I'll
we
talk
did
to
do
Steve
something
again.
with the fire department that deals
No,
with
I
their
agree,
space
no, I
and,
agree with you.
and it's,
What's the matter? Well,
Why can't we have an article telling the people we need, $58,000 or $60,000 to be withdrawn from general fund instead of raising new money? Have the people authorized to take it out of general fund?
that's only if we have that much extra in general fund to take out.
either way,
Well, how
you're
much
doing the
we got,
same
we
thing.
must, I heard, keep hearing talk, we got $1 million.
What?
Yeah, but that's because of GASB 50.
Yeah.
Hey,
Well, either way, you're taking out of general funds, aren't you, the cash flow, you're affected either way, no matter if you rate in an article or not, it's still coming from there to start with.
Yeah, but the people already paid taxes on that money. If you guys made a mistake, we ought to be able to get it back and not raise new money.
Well, it wasn't, well, yeah, okay, you're right, the buck stops here, it was.
Yeah, no, it's definitely, the board at that time, which two of us were sitting members of that board, not having the proper information.
I mean, what's wrong with asking people to get permission to take $58,000 out of general fund? What's wrong with
Right
that?
now?
Huh?
Right now?
No, next year.
Have the unexpended,
What?
or the.
Reserve, whatever it is.
You're talking about taking it out of yeah, you could do that, I guess.
Instead,
It's $1 million something, $1 million two.
yeah, instead of raising new money,
The board has voted to keep at least $1 million in there, and,
We need to discuss that too, coming tax season, that's
you're
that
gonna
whole
need to
balance.
discuss it, is right. You know why?
Are we running that short?
No, you're running it too much. The DRA recommendation.
No, I meant right now, are we running?
No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
that's there, that's not even.
There's,
cash.
there's a purpose behind that though.
Yes, and I'll have you explain
What
to me
is it?
whenever you want to.
I can explain it to you right now.
Okay,
The purpose behind that is because of GASB, and the reason being is because of school payments. What if we had no tax revenue at all, and we still are financially obligated to pay the school?
you can't use it, okay, that is your assets and your liabilities. Subtract your assets and your liabilities, this is your
Fund
basically
balance.
fund balance. So even if you had a school payment due and you didn't have cash to pay it, you'd have to borrow it. You can't take it out of there. You would have to borrow the cash. So the DRA recommended, and I cannot believe your auditors never even talked to you about this, GASB 54 has nothing to do with this unreserved fund balance. Your DRA recommendation is between 8 and 15% of your budget. You guys are keeping almost 50%. You're not doing anything for the taxpayers. I mean, you could use 500, you could use 700,000 of that and renovate this whole entire building and it wouldn't affect the tax rate. You could use, you
No, no one-
really should only be keeping.
But that is not what has been explained to us in previous
No, that's
administrations.
why I'm
Let's
explaining
just leave it at that.
I was gonna
No.
say, we can discuss this at tax season.
No,
What,
no,
$1
no, no,
million?
this is something we need to know, and this is something
Previous
that you've brought us some
administration-
new.
What are you talking about, previous administrations? It's because the majority of selectmen didn't wanna do anything like that, in other words, they don't
So-
wanna go below that $1 million mark.
But I think they thought just the same way as
Yeah,
what Mike
no, and
thought,
that's
that you
fine.
could make
Like you
payments on
said,
something else.
the buck
No, you
stops here.
can't, there's no cash.
Okay,
This is
listen,
cash.
I'm gonna express Mr. Lawrence for a second. You said the selectmen didn't want, I was part of the selectmen that didn't go below $1 million, and that was because I was basing it on information. I had two senior selectmen that I
You
was
did.
working with, saying that, you know, one of them saying, well, the school payment's this, and the other one also voted yay for it also.
Yes, he did,
Okay.
very much so.
Alright, so,
Did I vote for it?
of course, same as me.
I probably did.
And when it
Okay.
comes closer to make a decision, I will, write up something for you
Yeah, I
guys,
mean-
explain it in depth as to
You can
exactly
go
what it
to
is.
down
And the more new information we get, the better we can make
You
our
could drop
judgments
down
for
to
the
around,
town.
what, $500,000?
You guys could go to
500, right?
250, your budget's
No, you won't
2.5,
go
you
that
can go
low.
to 250, that's still 10%. Some towns go to 0. Some towns keep it.
Yeah.
No, I don't think.
No, and I understood that part.
Yeah.
About how you have to have that. I just, because of with Gatsby and stuff like that, and the information that I was receiving,
Yep, absolutely, I can understand that,
That's-
yep.
no,
We were just making sure we had our.
It's so nice to be able to do things and not tax people.
You could use so much of that right now for things that, you know,
Oh, yeah.
if you-
Oh,
or even to
drive-
offset the tax rate, that's
No, no.
going
What,
to.
fund balance? That's what you're gonna be talking about later on down the road,
Mhm.
because you know, if you don't take, last year we took what, 190,000?
That's, yeah. And then part of that was because of the property we had and making sure that that came in to roll in for the taxes.
Well, that was listed as a revenue to
Yeah,
offset
but-
the taxes,
yeah.
but still, the, the 190,000, if we hadn't used it last
We-
year,
We
it
took,
would've been up,
we took 181,000 because it kept fund balance at 1
1
million.
million.
but it also
Yeah,
kept,
that's,
it
I
also,
mean,
That is very high.
It also
You're
kept-
almost 50% in the DRA.
but it also
recommendations
kept your
is-
tax rate pretty much the
Flat.
same as it was the previous year, see?
yeah.
So that's
No,
the
we-
reason
yeah.
why you did
No,
that.
I mean, and that's the whole thing, you can inflate your tax rate artificially with fund balance too.
You know, a problem is.
For a little while.
Yeah, until you run
only-
out.
But you
Until
only,
you run out, yeah.
you're only doing the
Depending on
town
your revenue
share,
every year. Yep.
that's the
Yeah.
problem, cause the town is the least.
Yeah, but if
amount.
you're paying, 10 cents per thousand on your house instead of $3.14, that's a huge savings no matter what.
That's right.
But you can't use fund balance to offset your school tax bill, so that's the thing.
No, the school is always gonna be an issue, but you could get the town tax rate really low.
We can get that.
We-
$408,000 is $1 on your tax
I know.
rate, because you have, what, 408
Some
million.
selectmen don't like to go.
How much,
low.
how much was that?
I don't wanna go
Your
artificially, cause then
assessment
you
for the
got too
town
much
is
of a roller
408
coaster, then
million,
people.
so you figure
Well,
2%
then
of
the
that,
following year-
$400,000
Right, it goes back up,
is
and
a
that's
dollar
not
on
good
the
either,
tax
I
rate.
don't mind doing
That's how you
some
really
and
look at it.
gradually working it down, I don't
Oh,
think we
we-
do it all at once,
No.
but.
Of course not. But I mean,
Right.
But this year you're
I
gonna.
mean, we kept it flat the last 2 years.
Because of that, because
Yeah.
of the, we offset it
Yep.
in the tax.
And like I
rate.
said, I guarantee in my paperwork, it's just the filing cabinet's this long. But I'm gonna go look for it, just to show you where it's written on my paper, where we're putting the school.
58,000?
The 58,000, cause I saved
I hope you
everything.
do, prove me wrong, I want you to,
Oh, I will.
wouldn't be the first time I was wrong.
I'm always wrong.
This is the second mistake I made today.
Why, you thought you were right?
No, when I came here tonight was the first one.
Alright, what's next?
Never mind, okay.
Wait,
While we're on this, just to let you know, I know we have no plans on borrowing money because of the cash shortage, but if we were, we can get a $500,000 note for 45 days and it's $850. We don't have to go through bond council or
That's
anything.
very good.
Yeah, $850.
You never had tomorrow since you've been a
Nope.
selectman.
But I think, I've seen some people in here making some payments too, I think that it'll start
Well,
coming in.
she's got some money coming in, no doubt about it. Okay, are we done with impact fees?
Yeah,
You're gonna
now-
get more information, you're gonna look for your papers,
oh yeah?
you're gonna prove
It
your.
doesn't matter, George. Even if,
It doesn't
I-
matter
no,
now
I'm-
because it's done.
yeah, I'm gonna find a paper anyways, just for my mental well-being, but we have to, that's passed, now we have to address the
What do you
situation.
think my mental well-being was when I looked in the town report and found $58,000 listed as a revenue and never found where it was paid out? Then went and talked to Beverly and she could only find a record of receiving a check of $58,000.
You wanna pass that pen this way?
It wasn't good.
Thank you.
Has everybody signed everything?
I don't think I've signed this
Oh.
one yet.
Just as another note, we did go to that gravel pit the other day, the police chief and I went up there
Yeah.
last
Oh, yeah.
week, based on complaints, and talked to the owner, and they've agreed that their sign says from 6 to 4, and that's what they're gonna be following, so they're gonna be monitored, on somewhat of a regular basis, and hopefully they won't be opening up at 10 after 4 in the morning, which is what the same day we went, they were supposedly in there at 10 after 4 that day. And yet, the guy stood there and told us that he had a meeting the day before and told all of his employees, truck drivers and everybody else, they couldn't be in there till 6.
So, if he's not in there to run the loader that early,
Oh, the
it
truck
get
drivers,
loaded.
no, truck drivers go in themselves and run the loader. At times, that's what they've been doing, they go up there and just start loading their own trucks, making money. Oh, wait a minute.
No, I'm just
I
looking.
didn't discuss that, did
I know, I'm just looking at it.
That's a note from, what's his name, Agonis,
Yeah.
about some,
Wire ties.
and you're probably familiar with that down there, aren't you?
Oh,
You know, both of you.
Actually, that's the first thing I've been notified about it.
Just so you know, this week, Saturday is the Little League barbecue, right?
yeah. I guess, Ben, is it?
Yes.
Alright. I don't know. Saturday I'll be working.
You mean you guess? I thought you were involved, but you're not involved in it?
I'm not
No.
involved.
Are you?
Yes.
Huh?
I'm just involved as in being a representative and
No, no, no,
coach.
no, no. You're gonna be there, right?
Maybe, maybe not. I don't think I got a game that day.
No, they're having a barbecue. Smitty's, not Smitty, what did I say Smitty for? Francis Gibson is the,
Yes, they have a portable
the
barbecue
cook,
pit running
right?
that.
The chef, whatever we call it. He'll be doing the chicken and all the rest of it apparently. I just found out today that that's what's happening. The only thing, the reason I found out today was they wanna know how they could get water there. I guess the only way they can get water, you know if it's been turned on in that building or not?
I
told
don't
them to
know,
go
this is the
see
first
Pe-
I've been hearing about it.
I told him to go see Peter anyway, and he's the buildings man. They only wanted water,
What building is?
pool
Pool.
house.
Oh, yes, the water's on. I'm sorry, I didn't realize it was jumping.
Oh, you didn't?
We're talking about the
barbecue.
field, right, it's at the fields.
Oh,
And that's it, the pool?
The pool's in the middle of the
where are
fields,
all
yes.
those, certificates?
Right here.
Okay, did Ben sign those?
I have not yet.
That's. Alright, you wanna discuss this so you both know what it's like,
I don't
what's
know.
happening?
I don't know.
Ben?
I read it, I will let
You're
Eric
gonna-
know about it.
We'll talk to the rec director about that, then come back and, you're gonna come back and make a report?
Sure,
What is it that you guys are discussing?
by all
Something to
means.
do with the chain link.
He didn't respond to my last text, so we'll see if he responds to this.
Who, Eric?
Yep,
Come on, I can't believe that.
So someone wants a chain link fencing fixed?
I don't know.
Somebody fixed it? What?
What?
Did you say
no,
somebody
We
fixed
want
we
it
need it,
fixed.
yes, they would like to see it re-maintenance.
Did you get those poles yet? What's the deal on them?
It's between,
Nothing
the
to do-
poles are here, I believe,
Nothing to do with you?
it's between Peter, Mark, and Eric.
When
That's
did-
where
when
I
did
said
they-
if they need help, let me know, and I haven't been told, so
When did they come?
I believe they went over and picked them up a week ago.
That guy did?
Yes.
I don't know. I didn't think they had, cause the last time I asked about them, nobody knew.
I
They were
can
waiting for-
find out.
Aren't they waiting for you?
No, they were not waiting for me.
Oh, okay, I was misinformed. They weren't waiting for me, cause I don't know anything about where they are in Mason or anything in that.
They're at the town shed. They were at the town shed. And I
Okay.
just found some more if we have an issue.
Alright, the new thing on the cemeteries is nothing basically new, as far as what's happened and not happened. They're still doing their research in Concord, and the kids are still playing ball over there, and the grave sites are still the same places they were. So, everything has stayed the same.
Good.
Is that good or not?
Right, yeah.
The guy wasn't happy.
Status
that-
quo is fine for now.
Status quo? What do you mean status quo?
Nothing's changed, it's status quo.
Oh, he still insists apparently somewhere along the line that there's still, did you say you were talking to him?
I haven't talked to him.
No, it wasn't you, who was talking to him? You? No, not you. Somebody was talking to him, he still insists that there's documentation with the state gave it back to the town. If it didn't
George,
happen-
somebody had a solution to your two big problems, central school and the cemetery.
Central school's the town's problem?
It's gonna be, yeah.
Why is that?
Are you a taxpayer in the town?
Yes,
New Ipswich, right?
yes. I
It's
think
not
so.
gonna cost you a bundle of money if the town has to rip it down?
Why does the town have to rip it down?
Are you a taxpayer in New Ipswich?
Yes.
Where's the money gonna come from?
I have no idea, well,
Oh,
indirectly
I'm
from
gonna
government
go you-
taxpayers, because
Okay,
the
let me
school-
tell you the solution.
School owns it, right?
Clark Baldwin had a solution.
Does he?
Yes.
Clarky?
You got a problem with the cemeteries, right? Take all those 70 grave sites,
Mm,
dig them up, put them in central school, and make a mausoleum out of it, seal it up, and make the grounds nice and pretty, because the people you put in there won't care about the asbestos or anything.
well, they probably
That's a
won't.
good solution.
But the town doesn't own that building.
Partially,
You voted not to buy it.
I know.
It's school district, even though you pay the school district, you're right about that part of it, but if General Dollar, whatever they call themselves today, Dollar General, General Dollar, whatever, if they don't go there, well,
Then we make a mausoleum out of it, right?
yeah, you could, I suppose.
Okay, 'cause it,
I don't think that's the ideal way. That's a solution, sure it is.
sure.
You're gonna have to, no matter what, you'd end up moving them all, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
I don't think that would be a very pleasant thing.
no,
No? Anyway, Clark better sit back over in Bank Village and watch that big pine tree over there that hasn't been cut yet and come up with another solution.
it's gonna fall on his head maybe, huh?
I don't know, been how many years now?
Like 4, 5?
Well, they said it was gonna split a long time ago. Nothing's happened to it, but I suppose it could any day.
So I'll tell Clark you, under consideration about the mausoleum, huh?
You can tell him whatever you want. He's
Okay.
gonna come in here anyway, probably tomorrow and see somebody. He usually comes in at least once a week, I think.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Anything else?
yeah,
What?
we have to discuss, posting for a position.
Yeah, it looks like there's going to be a position available at the, on the highway department or the public works department. So, right now, what that is the position is 2 days for the highway, 2 days for the building maintenance, and 1 day at the transfer station. It's a full-time position with benefits. He does have 16 hours available for a part-time position in his budget. He has not filled that as of yet. So, what he's looked at, him and I discussed a couple possibilities of keeping it the way it is, or of hiring, he wants a full-time position for the highway department, but then hiring somebody as a 30-hour building maintenance in the transfer station. So that would be actually requesting another 11 hours, because it's actually 3 hours for Jessica who does the cleaning right now. So, really depends on what you guys would like to do. A 30-hour position in a full-time position, or keep it the way it is with 2 days highway, 2 days building maintenance, and 1 day transfer.
No, he won't give you any kind of a thing in writing that he's leaving, you said, right?
I haven't seen anything yet. I'm not saying he's not.
Yeah, let's not
We're
even
not-
worry about that.
we're just
I mean, let's
discussing the
think about-
position.
If the position opens up,
Right, what do you want to do?
as it indicated, I move that we maintain the current 2-day one.
I don't. I feel that you should have a guy 5 days at the highway department, and then have someone that's 2 days maintenance and 1 day at the landfill. I'd have 2 different positions.
Right now, he doesn't work Fridays, right?
I don't know what his schedule is. I mean,
Oh, you had it right there.
I don't believe he works
no, he
Thursdays or
doesn't work,
Friday.
he doesn't work Monday,
Yeah, he's got Monday off, I know that.
Mondays, I know that. He
But-
was working Fridays because he was here with me doing my office. So I
Well,
know
that
he
was before this
He
shift
was
change.
Before the
shift
10
change,
hours, yeah, but they wanted,
Right, you're right, but when it all goes back on September, his hours were Friday.
trying to figure out how he works it out, so it comes out with a 40-hour week, I know
No,
that.
38,
What?
38, and
38.
it's still full-time, yeah,
because he doesn't work a full
that's right,
day on Saturday. Doesn't work a
No,
10-hour day
yeah,
on
he works
Saturday.
3 10s during the week and then.
that's right.
8-hour day on Saturday.
Yeah.
It didn't come out that way. It wasn't supposed to in the beginning, was it?
Well, I mean,
Nevertheless, anyway, all right, so you wanna know how to post it?
Yes. I am working with Peter to create an actual job description, because we need to have one before it's posted, so I need to know.
what happened
we
is
want for
we
position.
lost a guy who was doing maintenance.
That was
And we lost a
part-time.
guy that was part-time who was at the transfer station.
Right,
And then it ended up now that we have one guy doing all 3, but we lost
All
3 days a week at the highway department.
Well,
I
no,
would
his
be-
position there was part-time then too.
Whose?
No, how did that work out?
No, the guy who was doing maintenance here would cover at the highway department besides.
Right.
We lost a full-time guy at the highway. I mean, when you combine those 3 positions into one, you lost a full-time guy at the highway, you lost a part-time guy that's doing maintenance, and you lost a person at the transfer station.
I guess the way you need to look at it though, is it working? I mean, is there a need to add more hours back to it, or is
I
it
mean,
okay the way it is?
as-
He hasn't
how-
filled the 16
okay.
hours.
The guys at the highway department work on our roads. How are our roads working? I guess that's a question you ask too. I mean,
Okay, but you also look at it not very long ago, last year, in fact, you had 3 people instead
That's
of
what I was,
1.
it's just,
That's what
Three
you
to
were
seven.
saying, basically, is that you had one at the highway,
Yeah.
full-time. He was working full-time
yeah,
then, the 40 hours.
yep,
Then you had a guy at the landfill, that was before Gary
Yeah,
actually went up there. And you had a
But how
guy
many-
in here, and so you had more hours involved with the 3 of them, I think, than you do with him now, don't you? Don't you, you know
no,
what
no,
I'm saying?
I'm not saying that though.
But if you break it back up, I think that's what she's asking, do you wanna, say, have a
Well, I
for
believe
example,
Gary
for-
was hired at a non-40 full-time, is what I was getting at. I don't believe he was ever at a full 40.
No, I think he was.
Yeah, he was,
Maybe
because
you
there
know
was
more.
issues
Okay,
about.
because that
the-
was not what was relayed to me when I asked these
You
questions
probably
last
know
spring
more-
when we
you
had
probably know
the
more
other
about it
person.
than we do, but unfortunately, we were here when he was hired, so. we
I wasn't
don't
here when he was
know.
hired.
Yes, you were.
He was
You
hired.
weren't?
No, he was,
I guess then, I was here when he was
Yeah.
hired, when he was hired. but
he's
he was
been
hired-
full-time the whole time I've been a selectman.
I know he was considered full-time, but I don't believe he had the same hour load.
How the
was
maintenance
related
thing
to-
came up was you were here when Jonathan left,
Yeah.
and Jonathan went full-time.
Yeah, I was
to
here when Jonathan left.
Rin. So then it was decided to break up Gary's,
Yeah,
putting
I'm
whatever
in,
it is, how
I'm in
many
favor
hours,
of 2
2
positions.
days a week
That's
he
me.
works maintenance, is that the way it's figured?
I'm in favor of,
Exactly figured out that.
I'm in favor of a full-time and a part-time position.
You want one
One
full-time, one part-time,
Yeah.
full-time highway,
full-time highway,
part-time what? Maintenance?
transfer and maintenance.
How
Are
many
you gonna-
hours?
I would say, 20 for the part-time, 40 for the full-time.
Is that an extra full-time position?
No, it's
No,
replacing the original
it's
full-time
replacing the one
position
in
that was there.
highway, but it is more hours than what you have now, there isn't any doubt about that. Of course it is.
Yeah, I'm not denying it.
It is
But
only if you do 20
Well,
hours,
okay,
only
let me,
because he hasn't
let
filled
me
the
pose this
16 while
question,
he is
Ivan.
there.
What is your opinion of it?
my opinion is that, I think it works pretty well the way it is right
Alright,
now,
so-
but I may be wrong. Is the
Alright.
maintenance being done? It was, yes. Are things getting done? Is the transfer station being taken care of? If you can find
Are you
somebody.
are you gonna find the same person that Gary is?
Well, that was my next question.
Or are you gonna
find the same, that'll do the same type of job that he did? I don't have the answer.
No,
Do you?
no, I don't, that's what I'm saying,
I think maybe you should look at a full-time for the highway and just the transfer
You
station.
can do that.
Well,
What about the
just the
ma-
transfer is only an 8-hour
8-hour
shift.
shift,
Yeah.
yeah.
so then.
But that's nothing against the ones who work down there, but that was some of the problems we were having, where that worked nice where the guy was able to use the same equipment that was at the highway because he knew it and was able to, that's how things got changed at the transfer for the better, quite a bit of it. And if you ask Peter and you ask Gary, that's how a lot of that evolved.
I wouldn't know that, I never go there on the weekends, like every Saturday. What I'm trying to say, I mean,
Yeah,
I realize that, but all of a sudden, you take all these positions and you start blurring them.
Because they're all under the same overhead spot.
Alright, well.
He should
I'm
be able to
all-
dictate where the guys move within within his department, and right
Yeah.
now, they're all considered under him.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, you had 3 positions. What happens when you don't fill the position properly and you don't have the same thing?
You don't, like, the maintenance, for example, you don't get the.
I know everyone wants to do everything on 50 cents, and that's fine.
No, but I'm looking at,
No.
we had 3 positions before, and they weren't getting done right because of the way the 3 positions were before.
So, that's not true. The guy working full-time at the highway wasn't doing his job right at the highway department?
Of course he was.
Of course he was.
Then,
I'm talking the 2 part-time positions.
But the maintenance guy.
And I knew one of the guys, and he was doing as good as he could at part-time, but because of the way it was set up, it could not get done right.
Well, I don't know about that. I don't know which one you're referring to, and it doesn't matter, but I think that either way, it was, he said that he couldn't do the job and do it right. I thought he did a fairly good job, but maybe not. Maybe you had, what, 15 to 20 hours? Is
Yeah.
that what it was? Yeah. But,
Well, basically, as it is right now, he really has a full-time position and a 20-hour position anyways. 3 and 16 or 19-hour
Yeah.
positions, so he really could do it that way. But we need you, the official, what you guys want, what positions we're going to fill.
what does he wanna do?
You know, he really
He's,
didn't,
like Ben's saying, he's the guy in charge.
Yeah.
I mean,
he really, I mean, he would rather, I think, have a full-time person here and then the part-time for building a transfer station. But he really, you know, like you said, he'd do
But-
it either way.
But
But
you
the
could
thing,
hire that right now.
He could hire that right now, yeah.
the thing is, he, instead of having us do a job description of what's gonna work for him, he should come forward and say, look, this is what I'd like, and,
I 100% agree with that.
But we need to know-
100%.
you know,
Yeah, but in order to create job descriptions, I mean, we need to know what your input also, you know, as to,
yeah.
this is what you're looking at. It'll just be a maintenance and person, or it's be a highway person.
Well, I don't wanna necessarily tie him to that, because
Exactly.
back
You want
to,
it to
he's
be
the
a two.
overall person,
That's
so if
right.
he wants to
Yeah.
shift someone down there because they're doing a better job,
Right.
I don't want him not to be able to, cause we wrote it in someone's.
no, okay, I understand your point there.
No, I agree with you.
Yeah,
It would be-
I agree
I'm
with that
trying
point.
not to tie hands
Yeah,
that
but-
way, and
But what I'm saying is, it's
I'm
tough
not
to
trying
have.
to reduce
no,
hours.
No, but it's tough to have a guy that you say, okay, I'm gonna have you 40 hours at the highway department, and all of a sudden, you know, why am I going here on Sunday? Because we saw that problem when we were missing a person at the transfer station,
Correct.
you know?
And I understand, but I think he does have people in his personnel, or
But you don't-
ones he would look at that it may work just like he has had the position filled right now.
You don't think it works right now the way it is?
No, I think-
But, the key is if you, and you asked the question before, do you
Look,
think you're gonna get another person like you?
I am the highway
Yeah,
department's liaison,
I know.
okay?
You
So-
told me.
Well, then why don't you listen to me for a second?
I am, that's why I just asked you.
I go up to the transfer station, I talk to Gary. In the last year, there was supposed to be steps moved to make the transfer station more productive and stuff like that. So, you listen and you see what's going on. We haven't taken those steps to go forward. I mean, you want someone at the, I would love to see that people could go to the transfer station for free. You know, and it's possible with recycling and doing things right.
And if you wanna just raise the increase
But, I
the
mean,
budget.
the problem, you don't have to always raise and increase the budget. Okay, we take in metal recyclables,
We do.
people will take glass. You know, if we have the right person there, who's motivated to make that a job they wanna do,
But as long as you have 4 part-time guys that is their 8-hour shift, you're never going to get that motivation, I'm sorry, it
No,
just
I-
isn't
but
going to be.
that's-
How many loads of glass did you take out of there last week?
I haven't been there, cause I worked George on Saturday. But
You
it's
just-
easy when, you know,
It's easy when you're retired and you,
Yeah.
I haven't been there either, but anyway.
I mean, I do try though, I mean, if I'm not trying hard enough, I don't have to
You
come
do
on
call
Tuesday,
'em.
I
You
could,
call 'em on a.
I could stay home on
Periodically.
Tuesday night with my children, that might be a little more enjoyable.
You do call him periodically though. He didn't tell you he took any glass out of there?
No,
Well, it wasn't much.
I
good
guess it
anyway,
wasn't that important to him.
Because I think it got contaminated. He didn't get any money out
The
of it.
town had to pay
The town had to
$1,000
pay money
because
to
it was
get rid of it.
contaminated.
So this is what you're up against with glass.
No, and I realize that.
And
What I'm saying though, you have a waste stream, but some of it doesn't have to go to be paying people to take.
Our problem is that, and most everybody's municipalities anyway, the problem is that, most of the time the municipality end up paying, and they don't get that much of an income. Unfortunate, but true. If you can find a good mainstream for it, or sort of like glass, if it gets contaminated,
Yeah.
you know that, you've been
Oh, yeah.
involved in recycling before. Gets contaminated because of the way you're crushing it or whatever you're doing, then it's no good to them. They won't take it, right?
I agree with you. If you don't
They
have
took it
bottles,
to-
you've got window
They go to
glass in there, that's another
Massachusetts.
problem.
They took it down to Massachusetts, it was
See,
Mason's trucks in New Ipswich.
And I was under the impression that it was gonna get hauled to Amherst because they have a machine they have there.
I don't know.
So my information that I got from someone else that was at the transfer station was different than what happened with the road agent.
Apparently, I guess so, because it ended up going last week, I think it was last week or the week.
Because
before.
Amherst had bought a crusher or something.
They did, but it's not, what the heck, was something about it that isn't the same as it.
I'm not, again, I don't know the particulars.
Trying to think what the deal was on Amherst. We never had a crush, you know how they used
They
to
used
crush
to use
glass,
the bucket.
loader,
Yeah.
run over it. And of course, in the wintertime, you'd have more of a contamination problem anyway because of the facility you could up
Yeah,
there.
I know.
It's just not set up for it. there's more glass that was buried in that landfill up there than you could ever shake a stick at, just because you couldn't get rid of it.
I can't imagine what else is buried in
You
that.
figure you were recycling, but they wouldn't take it. How they used to haul some every day in their truck, things like that, but they had to go a long way.
So you have my opinion of those two positions. You know, again, I feel we should have had something to work with to say, this is what I need for a position.
I
Instead
guess,
of-
does he really need a job description? He has a full-time position and a part-time
No, I
position. It's
don't-
up to him to be able to fill those the way he
I
needs
think-
it filled.
I
All of your positions need a job
You should
description.
Yeah, they should have job descriptions.
You probably
And that's
should have.
something that you don't have,
But,
so.
okay, but I
It
guess
can
does
be
he
a
want
general.
one that
Right.
defined?
Right.
In the
I
first
guess is
place,
where I'm
I don't
going
know
at
what kind of
this.
a job description you're gonna give, at the landfill or the transfer station. Number one, they have to be certified anyway, no matter how you look at
He's
it.
gonna have to
Whoever
work
you
with
hire has to go,
Just
Right.
say, pay $50 per class.
just like everybody else did. He's got guys down there, the other guys down there are certified too, I think. I believe so. A couple of them anyway. And, the other thing is, you gotta have like, the one, Gary, I have to admit, Gary was good. Gary was looking for markets all the time.
Oh, I know.
Trying to get them. There was no doubt about it. And he was really interested in what he was doing.
Yeah,
And, I really thought that he was
I-
gonna go to town over a
I
period
did
of
too.
time and would be able to get some stuff done. and so
I
forth,
was so totally optimistic about it.
But it's just like the electronic stuff, that goes to Jaffrey now,
I know.
right? And, I don't know if there's any money in that.
I mean,
either,
there's been such a good turnout with, like fluorescent bulbs, stuff like that,
Yeah.
you know,
But
I
I
mean,
think
even look at tires.
when you make up a job description for the transfer station, you're gonna be looking at a guy or trying to hire a guy that's familiar with these markets, number one. Or should have some insight into it. You and I could go up there and we'd have to start from the ground up probably, if you can find a guy that.
Most
that's gonna go there.
people you're gonna find in that position
not
is
that
gonna
knowledgeable.
have to start from the beginning.
I'll work with Peter,
Yeah,
create
Alright.
something and bring it to June 11th
Yeah.
meeting, how's that?
Alright.
Okay.
yeah.
Yep.
In June 11, we got the button up, but
Yep.
we got the
Yeah.
hearing, so. Anyway, as far as this job here, the maintenance part of it, I don't know what he's gonna do until he hires somebody else, but. The highway, well, that's just an academic thing anyway. There were job descriptions for all of these. I don't know where they went to at one time. They probably should be updated. Yes,
Will be.
the man on the street.
No, Ron's gonna speak.
Oh, Ronald?
Hey,
Yes.
I listen to you guys, so it sounds to me like Mr. Johnson is getting out of here. And you guys say he does a real good job. Have you offered him anywhere money to stay
I
around?
don't think that's the issue,
No?
And we can't,
Yeah,
we can't discuss it.
yeah.
so. Basically, I think Mr. Johnson felt that there's too many hours involved in more than what he wants, as far as, he did an excellent job for the town, and there's no animosities as far as I know about anything or anybody, and he just wants a job where he's gonna go home at such and such a time, and that's it, so. And he'll probably come in here at some time, cause he's gonna be offered an exit interview and give us his opinions as to what he may or may not feel that,
Well, would it be possible to call him in and ask him, what would it take for you to stay here? If you got a good guy, that, you know, he's doing a good job.
well,
Again, we're not supposed to be
I don't know.
speaking about,
No, I know,
and we shouldn't even be going down this road.
yeah, but just a suggestion.
I know. I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
you covered everything? You got everything?
I don't have anything else to,
No? Yeah, we covered all the rest of the stuff that's important. Yeah, business. You made a motion and seconded to adjourn. All right, I guess we don't have any choice but to act on the motion, all in favor?
wait, hold on, actually, before you call that motion, I do have one question, I'm sorry, I
See?
should have asked
I
this.
knew she would.
The APs and payroll, do you have a standing motion that you guys can approve them before the meeting? Before the next meeting, so we need to figure that out.
They want me paid
Yeah.
next week.
I'll make a motion that payroll and AP can be approved by the chairman's signature.
Yeah, okay.
I'll second that motion
Payroll and HP.
for 1 week,
Every other week.
for every other week, okay.
For the weeks you don't have any.
Yeah.
Well, really, you require signatures anyway.
No, because he's
We,
making the
we
motion.
made a motion that we accepted your responsibility of signing.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my lord. Wait a minute, oh, all right. You made the second?
I'll make a second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the vote was 2-1, not